I'm getting ready to head up to Raleigh, North Carolina for the Audio Advice live event. And today we're going to be doing a brief overview and unboxing of the HECO Aurora 1000 speakers. Now the cool thing is these speakers will be set up in a 5.1 system at Audio Advice Live. So they'll have the Aurora 1000, they'll have the matching Aurora 30 center channel, the 30A subwoofer, as well as the Aurora 300 bookshelf speakers. Now I'm excited to get up there and check these out in a home theater setup since they only sent me 2 speakers to review for you guys. In the coming weeks, I'll have an opportunity to hear these in my own home theater in a 2.1 system setup. I'll be pairing them with the Trevoce 15-inch subwoofer. Now if you're not familiar with HECO speakers, these are engineered in Germany. Now they haven't really had too much of an appeal over here in the US, but they are making their way over here, and I'm excited to check them out for the first time in my listening environment. So looking at the speakers, they come in 2 different flavors. You can get them in white finish, as we see here, or a darker black finish. The configuration as far as the speakers, we've got dual 8s down here. Up at the top, we've got a 6.5-inch mid-range, as well as a 1-inch soft dome tweeter. Now this tweeter is unlike any that I've ever seen, and you can see the little ridges here leading up to the center part of that tweeter. So I'm really excited to hear what does that tweeter sound like, and what does this 3-way speaker design present in a 2-channel setup. Now these are pretty affordable speakers. They're definitely not budget friendly, but they're not super high end either and uber expensive. These retail for about $1,800 a pair in the US. So a couple of things that I really like that they've added design wise is you've got this kind of 2-tone. So up here on the top and the front baffle, we've got this white finish, but then on the side, we've got this really beautiful light wood pattern that kind of gives us some nice contrast, but still provides a very modern appeal to it. Now, one of the reasons why HECO has this dual layered approach to the speaker design is it adds some rigidity to the speaker itself. And so when you tap on it, you can hear it's actually really solid. So there's some nice internal bracing to help with internal resonances. Looking at the very top, we've got this aluminum Aurora logo. And then down at the front bottom, we have the HECO logo. Now, if we look at the bottom of the speaker, we can see that HECO has provided 2 ways that you can install the feet. The feet can either be rubber or you can use the metal feet. Now, the metal feet would go on something like carpet. So as you can see here, I've got the spikes installed. If you have something like tile or maybe hardwood, you'll want to use the rubber feet. Now, you can easily adjust each leg of the feet so that you can get the speaker completely level on your surface. If we take a look at the rear, we've got 2 really interesting ports. And so these are made of aluminum, and you typically don't see that in a speaker, especially at this price point. Most of the time they're just plastic because they figure, you know what, most people will never see them. But I really like the fact that HECO has tried to incorporate not only functionality, but also style and design even on the rear of the speaker. Now looking below that, we do have some really nice high quality binding posts. Now one thing that's great about binding posts is for those of you that want to either buy amp or buy wire your speakers, this allows you to unscrew them, remove the little metal jumpers, and then you can connect 2 pairs of speaker wires to each speaker. Now typically in my setup, I usually don't use buy wire or buy amping, and so I just leave the metal jumpers intact. The Aurora 1000s also come with speaker grills, and these are magnetic, which I'm always a fan of magnetic speaker grills. They just make it really easy to install, and I like the fact that no matter how you place this on there, it's always level and it's always straight. Some speakers that I've reviewed in the past had really small magnets, and they just never seem to line up properly, so I really like the fact that they did that with these. Now speaking of the speaker grill, you can see around the edges right here, the wood behind the grill is kind of pushing up against the fabric, and so sometimes you can see the edges of that. Now with this being a white speaker cloth, you definitely have to be careful because I could easily see these getting stained if you've got any residue or anything on your fingers when you grab or touch the fabric. Now overall, I think these have a really unique visual appeal to them, and I could see these definitely going in a very modern living room or a home theater. So I'm looking forward to getting these set up in my own home theater, so make sure you're subscribed. I'll be producing some content on these as well as a full review in future videos. Now I'll have a link to the HECO speakers down in the description below, and if you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area this weekend, we'd love to have you join us at Audio Advice Live. Come by and definitely say hi. Well guys, I hope you have an incredible week. God bless, and we will catch you in the next video.